Boom, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast. Southend today. Been dragged all the way out to Essex by my new mate, Mac Shumba. Thanks for doing this, mate. Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Where are we today, mate, and who are you before we get too deep?
So we're in Southend-On-Sea, a part of Essex, and I am the current Quest Boxing League European champion, light heavyweight champion right now, so yeah.
That's a bit of an introduction, that one, isn't it? As you can see, the belt's in front of us.
Yes,
Who's world champion in your division?
So we haven't got a world champion just yet. So we've got obviously another guy called Cornet Scott. He's got like the cruiserweight title as well. So it's going to be me and him meeting at light heavyweight. He's putting his British title on the line on the 13th of September. I'm putting my European title on the line. We're going to see who's the king of the gaff.
Damn, so it's all good. When you say you haven't got a world champion yet, is that in the works? Is it?
That should be in the works, yeah. So I'm sure. So Alan Foley has been in the game for quite a while now. Do you know what I mean? Quest Boxing League used to be called Queensbury back in the day. I'm not sure if you've heard
of course. I didn't realise that. I know a lot of guys that boxed on there. Is that what it? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So like, again, it's like quite an established.
Very. They used to always do them at Epsom Race Course. All that business,
that's where I'm fighting.
Right.
So I've got the trilogy with this guy. I beat him the first time, he beat me the second time, and then, this is the third one.
Oh, right, okay, so it's all kicking off. We've got loads to talk about anyway, haven't we? So, like, as I say, we met recently, as I didn't say, we was off camera, weren't we? But at the Matty Floyd versus Shane Mosley press conference when we first met. I think it was your fighter who was kicking off with the eggs and all that business, right?
He got smashed with it.
Exactly, we're talking about that. Was you at the fight night as well? Did I see you at the fight night? We did see, right? Yeah,
he was busy though,
yeah, he was busy passing each other. We met like outside the change room, that's right, I remember that, But that was quite a fun night, wasn't it? It was a bit of a crazy night as well. Some of the fights on there are like, you got Shane Mosley on there, legit Hall of Famer, and then there's other fights with fighters having their first fight. There was a guy on there he literally been training 3 weeks, having his first bout, and he's at the Indigo in the hotel. We come on to all of it. We get into all of it. But like, there's, as I say, loads to talk about. I said to you, are you originally from this area? You said, no, you're originally from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So tell us where you're from originally, mate.
So originally from Zimbabwe, came to England when I was 9 years old. I'm 35 now, so,
young man.
Yeah. So, obviously I appreciate my roots and I love where I'm from, but again, at the same time, I'm an Essex boy, do you know what I mean? I've grew up around here and, I love having the best of both worlds.
Yeah, so 9 years old, do you remember much about home? Or
do you know what? You get like little flashbacks and you get like little bits and bobs when you're like, I remember that. Or you get maybe a song that comes on and it feels quite nostalgic. You're like, that sounds quite, But like the times that I've travelled out there, because I've got a boxing gym out there called Shumba Boxing Academy.
Oh, right, your own one?
Yeah, so I've got my own boxing gym out there.
Got even more to talk about, mate.
Oh, for sure. I've got my own boxing gym out there, and I've also got like the boxing promotion out there called Ultimate Knockout, where I try and put on boxing events for like kids out there, trying to give them opportunities, and we do little prizes. And
so you're very connected still to your homeland,
for sure, 100%. But like, it was still, I was on a search for myself, throughout boxing, you're trying to find yourself, like, who really am I? Outside of boxing or outside of being a father, who really am I? So I had to do a little bit of soul searching, and I traveled, went out there and tried, reconnect and meet new people and whatnot. And had the best time of my life, man. And you kind of see a part of the world that you've been missing.
Do you know what's interesting? You say that because I've got quite a few friends that I train with that are like heritage from Africa or whatever. But it seems to be Zimbabwe, South Africa a bit more touristy, but Zimbabwe and Ghana seem to be the places that everyone seems to flock to, and everyone, you gotta go. Never been, but you're obviously recommend it.
Listen, I 100% recommend, man. Like if you need a bit of time off, if you need again safari. We've got one of the best, is it 8 wonders of the world as well, Victoria Falls.
Right, okay.
And it's amazing.
Mate, we should have done it there. What are we doing in Essex?
100%, man. Let's jump on the private
I was going to say, part 2, Zimbabwe.
100%. I'll hold you to that.
All right, good. We're on. I don't know when, but we'll do it. Some point in the future.
Yeah, I'll turn up. You just, sort the travelling.
Just give me a text. I'll get on a bus or something. I'll come over.
Light work.
But like, from what brought you to the UK originally? Obviously, you're 9. You didn't have a lot to say.
I was young, obviously. Like, unfortunately, like my father passed away.
Right.
And obviously, like my mum had to make some changes.
Yep.
And again, she had to look for the best kind of ways of like to support me and my sister. So I think she obviously, because we already had family over here.
Right.
So like I had aunties and cousins and whatnot. So I think she just kind of uprooted and wanted to start something new.
Did you come straight to Essex? Did you?
Yeah, come straight to Essex. I've never lived anywhere else.
Right.
I've lived in a little bit of Scotland because my sister lived in Scotland.
Oh
so
yeah. Whereabouts?
Edinburgh.
Okay.
Yeah. So like she used to live in Edinburgh. And I've done a lot of boxing in Edinburgh as well, like, tried to kind of network with different gyms and used to train at the gym that Josh Taylor used to train as well. Done a little bit of work there. And I worked with a few amateurs, a few guys that fight for the Scottish national team and whatnot. So Yeah, it's been a journey, mate.
Mate, and you said to me before this, like, obviously we're getting to all sort of your accolades in boxing, but you said you got into boxing quite late because I asked you, sorry, again, start. So if this is like unlicensed boxing for anyone who doesn't know, I asked you if you boxed as an amateur. You said you got into it quite late. Like, what brought you to boxing? How'd you get into it?
So, do you know what? If I'm going to be completely honest, it was like a heartbreak. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, when you got like I've always been into boxing, do you know what I mean, ever since I was a kid. But like my mum wasn't interested in me getting into boxing.
Right.
So the moment I kind of was able to kind of pay for my own like memberships, like from like 17, 18.
Oh, so still fairly young. Still
so
young.
That's when I kind of plugged in. But like in terms of like actually taking it serious and getting fights and whatnot, I'll say maybe 20, 21.
Right.
So like that's when I started taking it a little bit serious and actually like, do you know what? I need to switch my head on and be competitive ready. Do you know what I mean? Get into competitions and see how far I can take this.
I got you. And what got you to sort of like this promotion? Because the thing that comes to my mind as soon as you brought the belt out was at the press conference. You had a face-off. You nearly thought you were going to jump in last minute.
I was going to fight.
Who's the guy? What's the guy's name?
Camille,
is it? Kareem
Kalesis.
Right,
it's called Kareem the Pussy or Kalesis. That's what they call him anyways.
Is that right?
That's his own
Who's
name.
they? You?
No, him and his... him and
say they,
cronies.
you.
Yeah, no, it's me.
Well, he won that night, didn't he? First round knockout. I don't know him. I've been in the gym and I've done a podcast with Barry O'Connell, who is the owner of a gym. I think he trains in State of Mind. Shout out State of Mind. I had not connection to him. I don't know him. I've said hello to him at the press conference, right? I don't know him, but like obviously, like when I first saw the State of Mind thing, you know what it's like. You like someone having your badge and you go, I know them guys. I'll keep an eye out for him. And his opponent dropped, didn't he? And he had a change round of opponent, which I assume might be you because someone said, his opponent's dropped out. And it wasn't you, obviously. Like, did you get the offer?
Bro, my phone was ringing all morning. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, I've already signed the contract for the 13th of September. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to jeopardize of something that I'm already kind of got my eyes on and I've got something that was already planned prior. Do you know what I'm saying? Even though the money was sounding good and the offers they were throwing at me were really good. But you know how this beef started with Kareem is a few years back. Me and him was meant to fight on Wicked and Bad.
Years, so it's going back a while.
So like we're talking about 3 years now. Me and him was both supposed to fight on Wicked and Bad on Bouncer's show, and everything went through. Do you know what I mean? Me and him was the main event. Come to the day, he doesn't show up. Do you know what I mean? We've done like 6 weeks, 8 weeks worth of press, preparation. On the night, the geezer doesn't turn up. Like obviously fuming. And his excuse was that he had a bellyache or he had the food poisoning or whatever like that. Left it at that. And then again, obviously we bumped into each other a few times, being around the same kind of industry, you always kind of like, see each other. And it's always been kind of like talks like, listen, when we're going to make this happen? When we're going to make this happen? Because, he's got he beat Pro Boxer for the Wicked and Bad title that he had.
Is that right? Okay, I didn't know. Pro Boxer also fought on that night, right? And that's who fought your guy with the eggs, isn't it? Right, okay, I'm with it,
So, when he fought Pro Boxer for that title, I was meant to fight he's meant to defend that title with me, do you know what I mean, kind of thing. So again, obviously where Bouncer's not doing the shows anymore, or as far as I know, he's not doing the shows anymore. So he's just kind of sitting there with a belt that's kind of like, mate, what are we doing with this? So are we gonna then take this beef to another platform? And this is what it's about, So I'm hoping maybe on the next Right to Fight, maybe we can get it cracking on there.
Gotcha.
Listen, I'm the best in the division, man. Like in the whole country, there's no one like heavyweight that can ever fuck.
And would that fight be at light heavyweight? Would it?
That'd be at light heavyweight, yeah.
Because I think he's fought at different weights from what I heard. As I said, I don't know him, but people have said he fights.
Yeah, he fights a cruiserweight. Yeah. But like again, he can go in between. The cruiserweight is not far off from. Do you know what I mean?
What is the cruiserweight in the mix? Because in professional boxing, it's 91 kilos, right? Is it the same?
No. It would be like more like from 85.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like in between weight going up, right?
In between going up.
I got you.
But you have got bridgerweight in between.
Because they've introduced bridgerweight now, right? Because bridgerweight, for anyone who doesn't know, in the pros is 225 pounds, which is roughly 102 kilos. So these are big men. You know what I mean? These are basically heavyweights that ain't, that have just cut a bit of weight, right? So like if you ever see someone who fights at cruiserweight even in the pros, which is 91 kilos, these are big men.
These are big guys.
It's a big jump going up when you go sort of light heavyweight to cruiser. This is a big difference, isn't it? This is a big, especially historically, it's 25 pounds.
Especially when you're fighting guys that are having to cut to that weight.
Mate, listen, a man that cuts hard to get to 91 kilos, this is a big man, isn't it?
That's a heavy guy, for sure.
It's a proper lump. Like I've said it on here before. I don't know him personally either, but I was training in a strength and conditioning gym way back, or maybe 8-10 years ago now.
Right.
And Jimmy Manuel was in there. I don't know if you know Jimmy Manuel is the UFC fighter.
Yeah.
He fought at 93 kilos in the UFC, and he was like in shape, fit, training, blah blah. And I looked at him, and he was getting ready for a fight, and he was just like, you looked at him and you go, he looked like if he cut his leg off, he couldn't make 93 kilos. You know what I mean? Like a proper lump, and like, you know.
And then you see them on weighing day, they're like,
yeah. Oh, a lot of these guys, again, that's what I think a lot of non-fighters won't realise is these guys weigh that for fucking 5 minutes, if that.
Oh, facts.
What's the weight cut like for you? Is that hard? Because you look about the right size to be fighting at the weight you are.
So I usually cut about 6 kilos or something like that. Yeah. So I usually walk around, at the worst, I'm walking around at like maybe 90, 88.
Yeah, no big deal.
And then from like, obviously 2 weeks out, that's when I start water loading, and then from there, we're good to go. Yeah,
I got you. So when you started boxing, did you? What was the situation there? Did you just go to a local boxing gym and just start?
Yes. Do you know what? So I kind of, I went to like a local boxing gym.
It's an amateur gym?
This was like it wasn't like I would say like an amateur gym, but like it wasn't the amateur gym in Southend.
Right.
Like the guy was an amateur coach, like an ex-pro.
Yeah.
A guy called James Chilsham.
Okay.
And he owns a gym called Locker Room.
Okay. But this is not like an ABA amateur gym?
No, it wasn't ABA, yeah. So like it was, again, still kind of unlicensed, so I kind of went in there. I trained for about a year without taking no fights, you know what I'm saying? A year and a half, and then I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm looking to progress now and start taking fights. And then, from then, I just never looked back, you know?
Yeah.
So I've been fighting since then, yeah.
And like, obviously, 18, you said about 18-ish, 17, 18. Like, it's a funny age, isn't it? Because you're not a kid, but you're still young, right? So it's like,
exactly.
What was you weighing then? How are you getting on with weight-wise then?
So I was like a middleweight then.
Right, so you're lighter then, right?
Yeah,
so you're getting it. But I'm assuming from what you've said, you went in there day one because you wanted to fight. It wasn't just a fitness thing.
Yeah, I wanted to fight 100%, man. And I was lost in terms of like career-wise or what to do, what can I... do you know what I mean? Obviously, with unlicensed, compared to like amateurs, you don't get paid.
Right.
But with unlicensed, you can sell ticket and still, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where I had like I had a daughter at that point. So
okay, young, yeah.
I'm like, dude, I need to kind of still do something that I love, but still provide to a certain extent. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you're still working on either doing a bit of labour work or doing whatever you're doing in between the week, but you know, to kind of make this worthwhile, I had to kind of still make money from it. So maybe I'm fighting like maybe twice a month, do you know what I mean, doing a good ticket sales and
Nice. Yeah. And how many fights you had now? So
I've had 34 fights, 35 with this one coming up, 35 fights, 4 losses.
So good record, yeah. Good record.
Draw,
which is quite mad because, I don't know, you tell me, you'd know better than me, but like from the unlicensed people I've been around, most of them don't have that many fights in that. It's normally a stopping point, or like they've done amateurs before, or they're going pro, or whatever the situation is. But like that's a lot of bouts to have.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? I was once I kind of got into the fight. Do you know when you get hit with a bug and you're like, do you know what? I want to be out there, man. And it's like, you know, because sometimes these fights that happen so quick, you can go in there and it's like first round is done. You're like, oh. Jeez, I guess I could take a fight next week then, innit? Because I haven't really done much
you're not
work.
You're fresh,
And obviously where they're unlicensed, they don't really, it's not like amateurs where they kind of give you a certain time to recover, or pros where they give you have to, you know, legally recover in a few, like let's say 2 weeks, and then you can choose another fight or whatever.
Right.
But with this, you can just kind of hop on from this one to the next one to the, do you know what I mean? As long as you're ready and you feel sharp.
Well, I had on here before, he was Zumi, he fought in the main event. He's Nate Francisco, I don't know if you know him, Nino, big heavyweight, massive guy. He, anyway, like when we sat down for the podcast, he was, I think he was fine. If I'm wrong, mate, you correct me, but he was like fighting the next week. He had a week, or I think he had 2 the week after that. Like he was booked up, do you know what I mean? He was rolling. But the reason I bring him up is his plans is like he wants to do a certain amount and then he wants to turn pro and take it like legit. Was that ever in your mind or not?
Do you know what? I did actually turn professional.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I had, which was a crazy journey within itself as well. So I turned pro just before COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
And then like,
good timing.
Oh, mate, screwing. Turned pro before COVID hits. So I was sitting down for about 2 years. Yeah. I can't train more. Luckily enough, my coach had put like a boxing bag outside the gym.
Right.
So you can just kind of turn up and hit the bag.
That's funny. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So like, we was quite lucky enough that you can't go into the gym, but
you just on the street having like.
Yeah, no, but like he had like almost like a car park kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So it was a bit.
Like,
you weren't just on the high street. Like
no, not in the middle of that.
I just got an image of you outside here.
Just in the middle of it, going at it. But like, so we was quite lucky enough that he had a boxing bag putting out there. And then like he would kind of like message you instructions and do what you got to do. FaceTime him, and I'm hitting the bag.
What's the instructions? Hit the bag.
Yeah,
yes, coach.
working on a jab, step in and out, and then he's watching me on FaceTime while I'm doing the training.
That's cool.
So obviously, because he had to obviously protect himself because he's a business owner and whatnot. He
Yeah,
can never exactly
be careful there. Isn't
But yeah, so anyways, long story short, went pro, got the license, done everything.
Boom, you got the license? Because that's another thing I've heard people struggle with in the past, where they've done unlicensed, they ain't gone traditional route. In the amateurs, they kind of frown upon it. And
100%. It was hard to try and get the license, because obviously you then have to do like a showcase thing. So I went to Peacocks. I had to spar for you guys just to show that I'm ready. I had to do like an hour session, and they would just watch me train and like. Okay,
I would imagine age is on your side at this point, right? You're young. It's not like you're not a 50-year-old trying to blag it and get through.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously you have to write like a plan where you show them, listen, you can cut weight and you can do it properly and safely.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So that was just some of the things that you just had to do, because obviously, where you're coming from unlicensed, you don't have like a record or...
Doesn't count, right? They don't. They frown upon it, don't they?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. So, long story short, went pro. My first fight, I was kind of coming from as a... So, I got signed to Goodwins. Mm-hmm. So, I signed with Goodwins, there was my management. And then, again, once the fights started coming back, you know what I mean, just straight after COVID, I'm still sitting back. 6 months goes ahead, I'm still sitting back. Listen, I need to fight, I need to provide, I need to, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, I ended up getting myself out of that contract, and then I kind of signed with like another manager. And then this manager was a little bit of like he would manage like journeymen. But I'm like, mate, I just want to go out there and I want to get paid. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they've kind of gave me an offer. Listen, we've got this kid, is an ex-national champion. His name is Connor Hins. So it's a York hole. What do you think? Fuck it, let's go. Do you know what I mean? At that time, like obviously just coming out of COVID, my coach, he was kind of going through something as well, and like the attention of training wasn't really on me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really sparring because again, people are coming out of COVID, so no one really wants to be, and no one knows many gyms. But at the same time, I'm kind of now hitting the end of my license, and when I have to renew for my brain scan, and I'm like, just give me something. Do you know what I mean? Right. So gone in there, obviously gone into the fight. Good fight. It was one of those situations that I'm in the corner taking shots, and then like the kind of ref is just kind of called it off. But I'm like, yo, I'm fine to still carry on. But again, it was the crowd was, you know, when you kind of, the shots, they're not really landing, but the crowd is making it seem like, yeah, and the kid had sold out like half of it.
But the thing is, this is what you said, he was a national champion, he was an amateur.
He was a national champion.
You know what they're doing when you're turning over, right? Because I know you have got a record behind you, but in their eyes, this is a nobody, you ain't got a thing. 100%. So you're the cannon fodder, basically. They're feeding you to a prospect.
110%, but like it took me a while to realise the game. Right. So obviously now I've learned the game differently now. I'm like,
you see what they were doing.
Yeah, I see what
they were. You could say no to that fight.
Yeah, I could have said no to that fight. Right. I could have maybe taken a different route. I could have been a little bit more patient, but again,
it's a dirty business at the end of the day. Pro boxing, listen, you're not always getting a fair shake.
100%.
It doesn't work that way.
Even like with the manager, he was kind of like a little bit straight up to me, like, listen, mate, it's either you're gonna knock him out or it's gonna be.
And that's what you signed up for, isn't it?
But like at the same time, so I feel confident. I'm like, yeah, let's get it. And then also, I'm not really having to sell tickets. It's just a purse. So do you know what I mean? So I'm just
one stress off, isn't it?
That's one stress, mate. And the fight was like round about November, and I'm thinking, mate, I've been sitting on my house this whole time. Yeah. I've got a daughter that needs feeding. My daughter's not going to be asking me, Dad, what's your record?
Don't care, does she?
She wants to know what am I opening for presents? Yeah, what am I? Do you know what I mean?
How old's your daughter?
She's 17 now.
Right, now, so she's like a young lady now.
Yeah,
right?
She's a young lady now. But like then, obviously, I was 18 and she was, you know, just kind of being, you know, like very, very young. So like I'm trying to provide for her. Obviously, you get the pressures from the missus as well. Well, you know, when is boxing thing going to pay off? And you're like, geez, when is it going to pay off? Do you know
when you fight Tyson Fury.
Exactly. When are you going to be on TV? So, like, mate, you've got, like, the whole world, kind of, like, the pressures. Obviously, again, you got your manager kind of like, mate, listen, you need to take the fight. What you say, listen, are you taking the fight, yes or no? Until the point where you're like,
yes,
he wants to get paid. I want to get paid, but like.
But that's the thing, innit? That's why it becomes a dirty business. Because it is a business. Like at the end of the day, it's all right. You sit in, but like you said, you got a family, you got a daughter, and that.
Yeah. So do you know what? With that situation, I was like, okay, cool. The first time I learned, I was like, all right, cool. I'll take this L. And then the next fight, I was like, do you know what? I am not going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to be compromised. Give me a little bit more time. I'll still come from the back foot as a B-side team, but I'm going to show this kid that how it's done.
Well, that's the thing, typically, innit, with journeymen for the most part. Other than the mindset of like they're doing it as a job, some guys, but it's also it's time to train, isn't it? Like,
oh, for sure.
They ain't got a camp. They're fighting a kid who's again like been a national champion, for example, who's he's got all the time in the world, really. Innit? He tells them it's not that clear cut, but you know what I mean. He's got a date 6-8 weeks on, isn't he? So he's training for that. He might not know exactly who he's fighting, but he's still training for that. Whereas it's like, hey, you, Mac. Saturday, all right,
yeah, cool. And then you've got the whole weight of the world as well, and life itself. And you're thinking, geez, man, I need to get paid here.
Yeah.
I need to, because at the end of the day, like, I don't think anyone gets into this fight thing to not get paid. Or yeah, you love it. Don't get me wrong, but you still want to walk away with like, right, cool. That was
live.
Mate. I've took those punches, but at least my pocket is solid. You know what I mean? So so again, that was the situation. The second time round, again, went in there. Absolutely smashed the guy from pillar to post, mate, Again, I was the B-side. Because I didn't knock him out, they still get the fight to the guy. The decision. But obviously, watching back on the video, mate, I'm like, bro, I smashed it. Even the promoter walked up to me at the end, he's like, mate.
Problem with that is, right, because of where you're going in this early doors, no one's going to remember that on a guy's record, are they?
Exactly.
They're not going to go, but his second fight against Mac, they'd be like, beat him,
Exactly.
That's how it goes.
Oh, even for me, like now, having to like, hold on, no, let me explain to you. Like, it was a loss, but it wasn't a loss.
People go, but you lost, right?
That's all, that's it.
I'm good, I'm set, I'm
Exactly. So no one wants to kind of know the ins and outs of like how it went down. Did you It's So like again, I was like, you know what? Fair enough. Like maybe I'll never say never with the pro thing, but like I was like, you know what? Let me kind of go somewhere where I've got a little bit more control.
And that was it. You had the two pros, and then
So like I was like, you know what? Let me, because I was coming to the end of my the medicals and
which is a big ball, like for people that don't know. It's expensive.
Mate,
it's a rigorous thing, isn't it?
It's like, again, you're looking at probably like $2,000 just to get your brain scan.
Yeah.
You're looking at about 500 quid for just to get your doctors. And then
I mean, give or take, it's about $5,000 to get in a ring, isn't it?
100%. And then you're looking at the purse for your opponent. Because first, I'll probably say 8 fights you're paying for your opponent. Unless if you're signed to like a big team, like Matchroom with Eddie Hearn or whoever's supporting you, a promoter, a decent promoter behind you. You're paying for your opponent.
Do you ever look back and wish you'd just gone to the amateurs and started fighting amateurs and had like a better amateur, or not a better, an amateur record that you like? Say your unlicensed record was in the amateurs.
Oh,
then
100%.
you can go to a promoter and bang. Now I'm getting looked after.
110%. I wish I had taken like a different route. But again, like I think when I started boxing, I was at that place where I already had responsibilities.
You wanted money now.
So I'm like, I want money. I can't come and do this thing and not get paid at the end of it. Because again, the pressures of like, let's say the partner I was with, she's like, mate, we're not going to eat boxing gloves, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? And then also you need new stuff. You need to pay for gym membership. You need to pay for food, for nutrition. Like, where is all that coming from? Do you know what I mean? And also the time to train and also just maybe do a little bit of labor work then. How are you fitting all those things in? It's not happening.
I mean, I don't know what experience you got in amateur clubs. Like, the training's no joke, man. Like, this ain't like some picnic. Like, you turn up tired, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, that's cool, man. Get on the back.
Get on the back. Yeah, cool.
Oh, and by the way, you're sparring now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you finished?
That was a warm-up.
Go for a 3-mile run. Oh, and by the way, you lose 10 kilos for me.
Exactly. Yeah, get that done by next week, by the way.
I don't know if I've said this on here before, but I say it sometimes. Like, I got on the scales one night. Like, I mean, I was 18, 19 in the club. I mean, shredded. Like I had less fat on me than that table. I'm on there. I was like a kilo over. And of course, the coach's reaction is, you fat little whatever, right? Yeah, you go for a run. Don't drink tonight, so you're home like licking the tap and like trying to not suck it in. You just in the mouth,
swirling it around your mouth and spitting.
You got nothing left to lose.
That's the worst.
So you're dealing with all that too, right? But But with unlicensed, from what I understand, there's obviously pros and cons of it, right? Because from the people I've never really been around the unlicensed until I've done this podcast more. You know, you start meeting different people who come from different, what would you call it, like entries into boxing, if you like. But there seems like you've got a lot more control over yourself,
100%, man. Like, again, you can negotiate your tickets a bit more.
But even in terms of training and stuff, you've got more.
You've got more time to train as well. Again, like I think with even just like this whole influencer boxing thing coming as well, where boxing has been so popularized now, it's a good position to be in terms of like, having someone that's already kind of built a resume. I've already kind of built my CV already. So now where it's already popularized, I'm like, yeah, mate, let's go. Because I'm like, more eyes to it. Let's get it. Do you know what I mean?
And at 35 years old now, do you have any desire to go back into the pros at some point?
I think if the opportunity and the doors were to open, and if it looks something like, I've got a little bit more control over it, yes.
Yeah. But it's not a direct sort of you have to do that type goal.
No. I would like to avenge the 2 fights, 100%. So do you know what I mean? So at least when I call it everything a day, I'm like, okay, cool. At least I avenged those 2 pros. Because that's something that still haunts me until now, mate.
Does
like
it?
Yeah, for sure. Like, because again, when you know you didn't lose the fights, and you know it, but again, there's what we said. When you look at the record, that's exactly what it's going to say.
And is that the thing that bites? The
100. And you don't want to feel like, I don't want to feel like that salty guy. No, but like, let me explain to you what do you know what I mean?
No, but hang on.
No, listen, no, watch this part.
But what happened was, it's like, cool,
watch
bro.
This part, watch this
you
part.
lost though,
but you lost it.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
You lose,
So you don't want to be that guy that's like feeling salty about that.
Especially when you're like, I get that. You're sitting at a barbecue at 50 and they go, did you fight as a pro? You go, twice. Oh, how'd you get on? I lost them. But hang on.
Let me explain myself. It wasn't like that.
Like, oh, fucking, here we go. Uncle Max talking
again. He does. And then everyone just starts getting up and leaving. You're like, oh no, come back, guys.
Look at my belt.
Look, I've got it. No, watch this video. Let me rewind it.
Exactly.
But like, man. Like, so, but to be honest with you, now I'm more focused on my son. So I've got a 12-year-old who's just started his amateurs. So again,
good on him.
He's had like 1 skill belt and he absolutely smashed it.
Good.
And he's going to be starting in September. He starts his season in September, and I'm hoping, taking him to the national.
What club's he at?
He fights for Billy Long's ABC in Chelmsford.
Cool.
Obviously, I can't the guy's amazing, man.
Is he? Yeah.
Absolutely amazing trainer. And obviously for me, being a trainer and a coach and a father as well, it's like, I wanted to be a little bit more hands-off. Like, okay, cool, do you know what? I'm going to hand you over to someone else.
I think it's clever, man. I think it's tough because you can put a lot of pressure on the kid, can't you?
100%,
in terms of, not I say pressure, listen, it's pressure getting in a boxing ring, but I mean more just like you get on their fucking nerves, don't you? If you told him something versus I told him something, he'd probably listen to me more because I'm not dad and shut up, do you know what I mean?
And we've been through this.
It
kind of obviously, the more we train, the further he goes along in his career. The more I'm going to be more.
But also, I mean, if you don't say much, and then he'll come to you, right? He'll come to you, and how about I do this? And you give him little tips. There's a difference between showing him something and training him full time.
For sure.
Because training him full time, like, is a fucking hard work. Anyway.
And it's a lot of responsibility as well as obviously I want him to be part of a stable that's got national champions. I want him to be part of a stable that's going to be taking him to the GB squad. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a dream right there for the Olympics, for the GB squad representing his country, and and then eventually moving over to the pros, or even, ideally what I'd want for my son is to go into something like Misfits Pro, because I think they've got like a professional section of the Misfits now.
Right. Okay.
So, and again, not even being here for long. So I want to, mate, 5 years, we make our as much as we can. We're out.
Well, it's funny you say that because, like, hindsight obviously is a great thing, but like, if you've got a plan in place of like short window, this, as soon as I've achieved it, I'm out.
And then we're out.
I mean, I know it sounds so basic and obvious us sitting here because it is.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's obviously a lot harder than that when you in practice. But I think there is something to that, man. I do. I think there's like get in, get out, and get on with it because there's nothing worse than seeing someone fight for too long.
And I think that's the beauty of like what I've been through in terms of like my journey. So I am not going to take my son through that same journey. We're going to take the shortcuts. Okay, I know that. Boom. Professionally, when we get an offer like this, if it sounds...
Don't need it, right?
We don't take it.
Don't need it,
do you know what I'm saying? Amateurs, okay, I knew I should have gone to the amateurs. Cool, we're going to take the amateur route now. Cool. Nationals, okay, I know what it's like to fight a national champion and I know the resume that you need to be. I want my son to be nationals. Do you know what I mean? So it feels almost like all the things that I've been through have kind of set me up to kind of direct my son in the right way. And again, even like the likes of having conversations with yourself, do you know what I mean? 10 years, we don't know where you're going to be because I'm going to be spinning a block on you and coming back with my son and be like, mate, remember the conversation we were talking about?
Well, it's funny. I'll be sat here doing a podcast with some young man one day. Your dad ain't Mac, is it? I know, man.
Exactly. Like, hold up, listen, let's play this clip.
Like this fucking old guy knows my dad now.
Exactly. So again, even the likes of yourself as well, like little things like, once he goes into the nationals or he's fighting, representing for the countries, having guys like yourself just singing his praise because, we know each other and little things like that. Just, it's important to start building them up for such an early age.
Yeah.
And of course, where I'm his dad, and I know how to build a fighter up, and I know even it's just not as basic as having a good fighter. You need the media stuff behind it. You need the promo stuff behind it, because people want to fall in love with the character and the person that he is, rather than.
But what you said there is important, I think, is who he is. Like,
don't
be fake with it, right?
Yeah,
don't overblow it.
100%.
And especially where he's so young, like he's worried about his boxing, isn't he? He's not thinking about money, is he? He's just enjoying it. And that's how it should be at the end of the day, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be sort of, I mean, I know he's very young, he's 12, but like, you don't want to get to someone like 17, 18 chasing money, right? I mean, I know people do, but it's like, if you look at it as men our age, looking back, you go,
it's not, exactly.
It's not for that yet.
Do what you love, and then everything else behind can
exactly.
be. You know what I mean?
I believe so.
So again, like like I was saying, I feel like my life experiences have kind of set me up and put me in a position where I'm like, okay, no, I wouldn't want this for my son.
Right.
Okay, I know how to deal with a manager, or when a manager says something like this to me.
But you're saying the right things too, because it sounds like you're not getting in his way either too much.
Oh, no, 100%.
There are dads out there that get in the fucking way.
Oh, no.
How many times have you seen a dad where you go, mate, shut up. Let him do it, shut up.
Yeah, this is what, mate, I'm like, so I've just recently done my level 1 England boxing coaching qualification. Nice. So if I am needed to be in his corner, or let's say if maybe the main coach can't be there, I can then take him on.
And also you want him to come to you, not the other way around, right?
Yeah,
not the overbearing dad that's like, we do this because I say so.
Or even like just being at home and be like, Dad, can you hold some pads? Yeah, sure, no problem.
No problem.
I'll hold some pads for you. Dad, what do you reckon of this? Oh, can we break down a fight together? Can we?
But that's the way round it should work to me. He should come to you and you give him as much as he wants, right? But not listen, son. You sit there, this is what we're doing. Because at a certain point, he's just going to go, fuck you.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And then do you know what it is there? They fall in love with it.
Of course
Because you're pressurising.
And your opinion will matter because he'll come to you for it. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's big, because I know people that I've been around that are like my age when we were kids, and others that have like kids that are now and they've got their dad. Yeah. And their dad's driving them fucking mental. Do you know what I mean? Mate, it's like, if you could see.
And the pressures as well that they probably might feel like when they get home.
Because he goes home,
Mate, imagine when that door's shut and we're not, because imagine what the dad is doing in front of us, but what he's doing when
you're sitting there having dinner and you're like, bro.
Again. Exactly.
Yeah. But there you go.
100%,
That's what you get. But like, I'll tell you what's interesting. You train up the road in this
yes.
What's the name of the place? Southend Combat Academy. It looks to me like an MMA gym. Am I right there?
So we've got like a mixture. Obviously, we've got Jiu Jitsu.
Is it your gym, is it?
No, it's not mine. Right. Obviously, there's a head coach that trains there, but I am one of the coaches there too.
Do you ever think about MMA and stuff as well, or are you pure boxer?
Do you know what? I've always... So the good thing about having a coach that's kind of all-rounded, because he's a Jiu Jitsu... brown belt. I'll be lying if I...
Yeah, that's all right.
But like, I know he's up there.
I hope he's a black belt and you've just mugged him off.
I think it might be a black belt.
You just downgraded him. Coach, you've got no respect for you, Coach.
But, do you know, when we training and you've, working through like things like grapples and things like that, so even like in boxing, when he'll just fold you up and you're like, mate, what are you... And then he puts the weight on you, you're like, whoa, okay. I've never thought about little things like that. So you then start to think a little bit outside of like...
Yeah, well, Usyk wrestles, right? Usyk
exactly,
does,
yeah.
And what comes to mind, it's interesting you say that, because I've never heard many... Well, I've got to contradict myself with what I'm about to say, but I don't hear many that do that. And like, I've worked with, I won't say the names because they asked me specifically not to say they've grappled and whatever, but I've worked with a few boxers that have had fights coming up and they've done sessions with me for grappling, you know what I mean? Like we've done a boxing spar, for example, but when we're inside, the rules are like we've bit different rules, if you like. In a gym I'm talking about, right? Okay. So I'll like grab a hold of them and I'll do things that are very close to the borderline in terms of when the ref's going to break it. But just little things that I thought might help, and they really liked it. And I think, but I just feel like I can't believe more boxers don't do it. I've heard Tony Bellew talk about it back in the day. He used to do some sort of upper body grappling. And Usyk, like, don't just like do some upper body grappling. He's in fucking wrestling singlet. Like you can see him wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. I think nowadays it's about just giving yourself that edge. Do you know what I'm saying? And why not?
Yeah.
Especially if you've got access to it. Why not?
I think so, yeah.
I think back in the day, a lot of our trainers are still kind of caught up in that mindset of like, train hard, run your miles, eat greens, lift as hard as you can, punch as hard as you can, don't think. If you're sparring, hit him as hard as, do you know what I'm saying?
But also, do what I say, don't worry about anything else.
Don't ask no questions, do you know what I mean? Where it's now, it's about training smart now. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, mate, I can go for like a 5K today. It doesn't mean that I need to do that same thing tomorrow because Marvin Hagler used to say that's what he does every morning. Mate, that's what works for him. Do you know what I mean? And also, they didn't have science back in the day that's kind of like focusing on like, how do you build a better fighter? Do you know what I mean? How do you do certain things to kind of maximize your ability to throw a hard punch.
It's an interesting point there as well. A lot of things you said there. Like, you got to train for you, for example, right?
Yeah, for sure.
If you're big and long versus if you're short and stocky, blah, blah, blah. But also at the same time, I think believing in the way you train is big. So, like if you're not happy with certain things, like, without getting specific, if a coach tells you to do it a certain way, but you think, I could do X, Y, Z different, I think you've got to explore that because you're going to drive yourself mad otherwise.
Yeah. And also, I think not one size fits for all.
Definitely not.
Do you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes, especially as a fighter, that's why you have to kind of go with a coach that works for you. Because sometimes you get certain coaches that kind of generalize everyone. Like, okay, we're all doing this. Okay, well, I've said this is how you throw the jab. Or I've said this is... And it's like, no, coach, I feel more comfortable throwing like this. Or I'm a longer guy. Can we try it? I've always kind of learned, like, if you're working with like a fighter, take his best attributes and polish those as much as you can and then work everything else around him. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So like if he's got a good guy that's flashy and, okay, cool, let's see what can we do with that? How can we maximize? How can we make that as clean and as best as it can be and as crisp and use that to the best of your advantage rather than, no, mate, you're a southpaw. No, mate, we need to do the orthodox. No, we need to do orthodox. Do you know what I mean? It's
I hear that at all. And you train fighters now yourself, do you?
I train fighters, yeah. So that's what I'm looking to kind of transition into now, because I'm 35. I'm getting on a little bit.
Are you? I don't know. 35's young,
no? Do you know what? I see Usyk the other day. That kind of put a little pep in my step.
Are you a 90s baby or 89?
89.
Yeah,
like,
there you
right
go.
On the cusp.
You're on the older side.
Yeah. And I'm in December as well. I was just hanging on.
You could have just held on for a couple more weeks, bro. You'd be in the 90s.
Oh, facts, man. So I still brag as an 80s baby. You 90s don't know shit.
Yeah, well, I'm a 90s baby, and I remember when you used to say you was born in the 90s. People go, "Oh, you're so young," and them days are wearing out. And
exactly.
You was born in the 90s. Sure. You've seen a thing or two, yeah. But
facts.
with the career, if you want to call it, whether you go pro, whether you carry on doing what you're doing, whatever, have you got a timeline in mind? Do you feel like you want to stop at a certain point?
I think I'm going to listen to my body. I don't want.
So you haven't got like a dead stop?
No, I haven't got like a dead stop. I think sometimes you have to listen to your body. That's very important.
Right.
But like, the crazy thing is, like, I feel like I'm getting stronger and stronger the older that I'm getting. Yeah. Like, I've got this fight that's coming up next on the 13th of September. And up against a kid that's like 10 years younger than me, literally 10 years younger than me. He's fresh.
Who's his name? What's his name?
Cornet Scott.
Okay.
Yeah. He's well built. Do you know what I mean? He's in his prime. He's only lost to me, and he's the British title holder right now. He's a cruiserweight European champion right now as well. So he's got a lot of accolades and a lot of things that he's building behind him. He's got a good following as well. Do you know what I mean? He's a strong kid. I can't take him for granted. I can't take nothing for granted. And I feel like my training, this is probably the best training camp that I've had the best camp I've had, zero. Do you know what I mean? Because again, it comes with like experience. You know how to treat, certain things to do. Okay, cool, I don't need to do this as much. Okay, cool, this might work for these people now, but I don't need to do this as much.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? And just be more focused on like areas that you need to improve on. Okay, cool, do I need more power? Cool. How do I build that then? Do I need more physique? What do I need to do to build that? Rather than just trying to, tread the mill. Like, cool, let me just keep going. I'll just do it. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of choose a specific. Okay, cool. Do you know what? My jab is not feeling that sharp. Cool. I'm gonna go in a bag and do 10 rounds of just jab only. Let's see.
Right.
Let's work on that. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Next day, okay, cool. Now, what can we do to kind of I'm giving away too much now.
I was going to say easy now. What's his name? What's your opponent's name?
Cornet's
going to watch this, bro. He's going to figure you out.
Yeah, I can't let him too much. But like again, I feel like I found the perfect dancing partner with him.
And what's the situation with you and him? Like, obviously, sorry, I forgot the guy's name who you had Needle with before. The press conference.
Kareem. Yeah.
You've obviously, there's Needle there, right? With this guy, anything like that?
Obviously he's beat me once, I've beat him once. Yeah. It's all respect, do you know what I mean? Like,
but different, is it?
Yeah, it's different. Like, it's not, because Kareem, I know I'll smash him up. Do you know what I mean? Like, with this one here, like, all due respect to him, do you know what I mean? I've got like the perfect dancing partner to you always need the perfect dancing partner, do you know what I mean? Like, when you watch your Canelo and Triple G, when you watch Bitter Biev and Bivol, when you watch Tyson Fury and Wilder, you always got to get that perfect guy that's going to bring the best out of you.
Right.
And then I feel like this guy does that for me.
And you fought twice, one each. How have they gone? Have they been decisions or knockouts?
The first one was a decision, and
For who won?
I won the first one.
You won by decision?
I won by decision, and then the second one was a TKO, like a body shot. Yep. But again, I know what I did. I tried to cut weight, like 5 kilos on the same day, weigh in and then fight. was very complacent, but again, I take accountability. I know where I went wrong with that.
It is what it is, isn't
it
it?
is what it is.
Both get in
but
there, one goes down.
But I know that I'm not going to be making the same mistake twice.
Good
and
on
I know I've got his number, and I
Nice.
know I'm the more experienced man. I'm the better fighter, and I've just got to come through on a day and prove it.
And then after that, you want Kareem by the sound of it.
100%.
That's it. I'll tell you what we'd like to do. If this finds you, Kareem, I'd love to get you on, mate. We'll sit down, we'll have a chat.
Oh, listen, I would love to do even like across the table thing.
That's what I was going to say. I was thinking I've done you now, obviously, right? It's on camera, shout out.
Yeah,
but like, I could get one with him and then maybe like one with a pair of you. Like, we'll sit there and we'll have some, well, I'll have some fun. You two might,
listen,
I'll search both of you for eggs beforehand and we'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah, make sure pat everyone down for eggs. I can't believe that.
But that'd be good. So, like, with the needle, I keep going back to it, but with Kareem, this is real. You don't like this guy?
Yeah, man. I think fake champion, one of those guys. I think one of the worst things you can do as a fighter is book a fight and not turn up. Okay. As a fighter, mate, you know what it takes, and you know, mate, what I've done, and you know, I've sold tickets, and you know the headache of having to give people back the money. You know I've been cutting weight. You know I've been training for this. You know, and mate, you just don't turn up on a day. Surely you would have known this the day before that you're not feeling well, or surely you wouldn't have known a few days before this, like something. So let's have a bit of respect for each other and have a bit of respect for the sport, and put it out there and say, listen, mate, I'm not going to be able to turn up. So it gives me that, you know what I mean, that rest. Okay, cool, I'm turning up, and now. Because the whole day you're in anticipation. Is he going to turn up? Is he not? Is he not? Is he? Oh, okay, cool. I'm finally off. And do you know what I mean? It's such a mind fuck. And
well, I tell you, when I saw you two together that day, it was at the press conference, right? First time I'd ever met either of you, right?
Yeah.
And I was literally, when you was having the face off, I don't know, you won't remember. You was obviously looking at Kareem in front of you. I was as close as I am now to you. Do you know what I mean? I was literally right there.
Right.
And I remember looking at it and thinking, these two, like, because I was a bit confused, right? I've never been around this before in terms of this promotion.
Okay.
I don't know you, I don't know him.
Yeah.
I'm standing there, I'm confused. You two aren't fighting, but you are fighting. But do you know what I'm saying? So I'm in that kind of mindset.
Like, this guy's facing off, but he's not fighting.
Because then I kind of got the gist, these opponents not here, someone said to me. But you know what I'm saying, right? I was a bit like, I don't really get the situation.
Exactly. Okay,
so you've clarified it, you're supposed to fight before.
And that's where it came from. And obviously, he'd said some things. And like, again, you know, when someone is like, well, who are you? You're a nobody. I'm like, mate. You know exactly who I am. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So don't try and mug me.
And how long ago was this fight supposed to happen?
This was supposed to happen about 2 years ago.
Oh, so it's been going on a long time.
Yeah, this has kind of been on like a. We've been looking for like a platform to kind of put this.
And how old is he? Is he sort of a similar age range to you? Is he younger?
I think it's I think it's in his 30s. I would assume.
Yeah. Okay. But maybe we'll get that fight. And Kareem, as I say, mate, I'll reach out to you. Let's see if we can sit down and have a chat.
But once that fight gets confirmed, man, we'd love for you to have like the first interview.
Will it happen this year? Do you think?
I'm hoping so. Yeah. So I need to get this guy. So obviously my mind is focused on.
I was gonna say you've got bigger things to worry about for
so
now.
So I've got a corner to get rid of first of all. And again, like some of these platforms are quite like Mickey Mouse platforms. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So for me, and everyone that understands, you know, semi-professional boxing, like Quest is like the premiere of boxing. Do you know what I mean? Like
I didn't realize you said it's Queensbury. I didn't realize. It
was so it transitioned from when obviously when I think there was like a dispute between when Frank Warren went over to do Quest. Went over to do Queensbury, and he took that professionally. Yeah. Obviously, they couldn't then run the thing. So he then had to change it.
Because I remember, I'm talking years and years ago, Queensbury. I remember, like, because there was an amateur clubmate of mine who'd gone that route and I think he had a couple of bouts on there or something like that. But that was my sort of like knowledge.
Mate, yeah. No, it was a big thing. Even the likes of Anthony Yardy, guys like that, they kind of came through that route. You know, there's a lot of guys like another Liam Blackwell, I think as well. Like a lot of guys have kind of come through that semi-professional route. And, yeah, man, they've managed to make a success for themselves, you know.
So as we sat here, I'll make sure this obviously goes out before your fight and whatever. Where is the fight?
The fight is going to be in Epsom Racecourse.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it is still there at the home, like because when you said to me before Queensbury, my straight away I went Epsom Racecourse.
Yeah.
So I've been in there for a fight night as well. Fusion. I don't know if you've heard of Fusion. So Fusion's like an MMA promotion. It's like one of them shows where they do grappling matches, boxing matches, all under one show. It's in a cage as well. It's good. So shout out Fusion. They had me there once. Mark Hobbs, all that stuff.
Okay.
So I've been there for a fight night, and it is good. It's a good venue in it because it's like it's the right size. If you get what I'm saying.
Is, man.
So it's like it's big enough but small enough. If that makes sense. And what I mean by small enough is you're on it. Do you know what I mean? The energy is there.
It's there. Yeah. And everyone's around.
And it feels like a fight night.
It really does.
It feels like everyone there's sort of like.
But it's also quite prestige as well because I quite like the historic side of it, number one. And number two, even just like the setups with like the changing rooms, with the changing rooms and how it's just quiet. You know, like you can see so much.
Yeah.
Like, so if you like, you know, when you need to get yourself in the zone.
Yeah.
The worst thing is to just be somewhere that's dark or somewhere that's just quite like a lot going on. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite relaxed there. It's quite like, you know, there's a lot of nature there. That's what I like anyways.
Nice, that's
You know what I mean? I like to be quite out in the nature. I like to kind of like take my shoes off sometimes, be a little bit grounded before
I do? Mate, we have to talk about some of that because I'm into a bit of that. Cold therapy, do the whole cold water plunges.
Listen, I do ice baths literally at least once a week.
Good.
Obviously, again, with my hand as well, I've been doing a lot of therapy with that. So, yeah, man, I do a lot of meditating as well myself, a lot of affirmations, a lot of like breathing and all. So I'm very lucky where I live by the seafront, so I can actually go out and sit by the beach.
That's cool.
And then just have like my feet in the sand, man, and just be like, okay, I'm out there.
That's interesting because I do a lot of that. I do like the Wim Hof breathing and the cold waters and stuff. I'm big into that.
Like just breathing and just having that time to yourself and just having that focus. Do you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people are quite scared to be in thoughts with themselves.
Well, it's funny you say that. Like I think there's something to the nature side of things, and I don't. People might disagree with me. Whatever type of nature doesn't really bother me, if that makes sense. So, like, I'll give you an example. Like, if you sit in a field and whatever, that's obviously a type of nature. But like, I'm going down to Brighton, right, to train with Dominic Dillon. Shout out Dominic Dillon, Jiu Jitsu. He's got a very specific choke that I like to learn off him, etc. I train with him every now and then. I'm going down there on Monday to train with him, right? So, like, but one of my things is before I get there or after, depending on my time, is guess what I'm doing? I'm going and sitting by the sea and don't talk to me, don't come near me. I'm fucking meditating. You know, I'm that weirdo. Sure, but I think there's something to that, and it helps, right? 100%. Because let's be honest, anyone who's ever got into any kind of fight sport, leave it as blank of a term as that. You got a few screws going on, right? There's some demons in the background. Without getting too specific or trying to sound like a lunatic, there's some demons in there that I think need working out.
For me, I feel like that's the most peaceful that I get, like where everything just makes sense. Because, you know, when you're fighting, again, it goes so fast because the adrenaline and like, you know, everything that's going on. But when it comes down to peace and having something that makes sense and having something like, I'm in here to fight, there ain't no complications, nothing else is going to happen. This is all that I need to be doing right now, do you know what I mean? And then when you're trading and, do you know what I mean, you're making a miss by inches and just like, you can feel the wind, do you know what I mean? And it's almost kind of goes into like a slow motion, like,
you're free in that moment.
Oh, 100%, man.
Because I tell you what I know, it's like whether it's sparring or anything, like intense, super hard training, blah, 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 or complete, like what we're talking about, sitting with your eyes closed on the beach. It's the middle bit that I think is the tough bit, right? The normal sort of like, I don't know, you know, you got a flat tire, you know, all that kind of stuff. That I think would stress a fighter out more than Joe average.
Oh, 100%.
But if you live in the extremes, you're sort of more comfortable. I know that sounds a bit nuts, but I think you relate to that, right?
100%, man. Like, do you know, sometimes obviously when you're training, man, and you just kind of like, you get into that point where it's like, oh my God, but like it's that part where you're like, bro, I'm about to give up, but and you even got your coach going, come on, one more round, 30 seconds. And you're like, where did this 30 seconds come from? Do you know what I'm saying? Even though you'd normally would give up or you'd be like, oh no, I'm done. But like, again, you know, pushing yourself and taking yourself to like, again, just testing yourself, man. Like putting yourself on, just on the edge of like, on the cusp of like, you know, I wouldn't want to say greatness or for loss for words, but like, you know, when you just feel like, wow, this is
I know where you're coming from. And I don't think that, you know, where you said earlier about trying to wind down, like, as you get a bit older and whatnot, I don't think it ever leaves you. The example I'll give is, like, obviously we're not there yet in that age, but, like, the other night, the fight we was at, it's more than the other night by the time this comes out, but, like, bear with us. It's like the Shane Mosley fight. Shane Mosley's 53 years old. Now, I don't care what anyone... 53 is fucking old to be fighting, right? Now, he didn't look 53.
To be taking shots at it.
He didn't look 53. And I don't know, was you at the open... You would have been at the open workouts, right? You see him hitting the pads? Up close was like, for me, was like one of them, you know, when you go, oh, wow, okay, he's still all there, right? He's still like... How? Now, of course, he said himself, he can't do what he used to do 20 years ago, but he don't need to, right? Blah, blah. He's doing his thing. But, like, when you watch him up close, if you see... And I'm sure you was as well. I was, like, as close to the ropes as I am to you. I was literally on it, right? And you're seeing him, and, like, he means them shots, do you know what I mean? He's not in there playing, like, he means it. He still wants to fight, you know?
And it's also a fight at the end of the day. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, again, like, you know, with this whole YouTube influencer thing, I think a lot of the stuff has kind of just been like watered down. And
well, here's my thing with some of that stuff, right? And we won't mention any names, you make your own mind up. There were some people there, and it's not, well, I'm not digging them out, they're in there trying and whatever, but they cannot fight, right? They cannot fight. Like, we'll leave it there, we'll be nice, no names, but you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about,
they're in there. So fair enough. I'm not digging them.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But
it is what it is. But there's some of them are fighting very close to a Hall of Famer fighting, and that's where I go a little bit like.
And then when you think of certain guys that are just sitting back and not getting these opportunities.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm going a little bit like.
Yeah.
But again, fair play, they're in there, they're doing it.
Yeah.
The thing that's like, I don't think they realise, which is tough. Like for yourself, sitting here, we're chatting, right? Yeah. It's an intelligent conversation, right? You're not sitting there going, right, I'll win this one, and then next week I want to fight Tyson Fury. Right? Because
that's just crazy.
But some of these guys that we're talking about that cannot fight.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and go, right, I've won that, now I want fucking Usyk. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I'm exaggerating massively, but you get what I'm saying. Like they think they can take it away. Some of them at the press conference,
or they start calling people out on
at the press conference, I was sitting there going like, hey, bro, let's worry about being able to jab that bag and not lose to shadowboxing first. You know what I'm saying? Let's go step by step.
Like some of you can't fight yourself out of a plastic bag, let alone fucking.
Right, and I'm being I don't want to mention names. It's unfair.
I know exactly
some of them are young, some of them, they don't know no better. But like, I worry for them because they might get in there with someone who can box a little bit. And do you know George Hilliard fought on that card, right? I had George on Shattered. George,
big shout out to him.
Great episode.
Good guy.
Brilliant guy, yeah. And hopefully we do a part 2 because he was really fun and entertaining. But like we was talking about it and stuff like that. And like George is sitting there at the press conference. He was there, right?
Yeah.
He's sitting there relaxed as fuck, isn't he? You know, like that's a legit ex-pro. Like was on the road. Like he's sitting there, and his opponent who pulled out, I think, was giving him stick, wasn't he? Was giving him like, you're getting this, you're getting that.
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember George just cool as a cucumber, sitting there, kind of like, you know, we're gonna box. And very humble, but like he's not stressed because he knows what he is. You know what I'm saying? He knows what he can do.
It's the other guy as well that's just chatting shit, like, because he's got to try and build up this whole kind of. You know, bravado, ego-driven kind of like.
They didn't fight, did they? He pulled out.
No, he didn't. No, I think it's something to do with the. Listen, I'll let him talk about that.
I don't know the scenario particularly, but I know they didn't fight.
Do you know what? I had a really good chat with George after the fight. Like, because we had been kind of around the same circles for a long time. But like, obviously that fight was the first time we had met.
Right.
And then from then, obviously we both, we got kids, and he's going to be helping me preparing for my next fight as well in terms of like getting rounds in. Yeah.
Because I went up there to where in Cheshunt, I think it's called the place.
Yeah. So I'm going to be either going up there, or I'd said to him, like, listen, obviously we've got the pier, we've got the seafront. Why don't you bring the kids down and we can, have like a family day.
Well, it's funny over there. Target Fitness is the place we went to. Shout out Target Fitness. Really funny guys. Like, good. I turned up before George. You weren't late, George. I was early, but I turned up and they're just on the wind up. Like, and I knew what he was doing, but you kind of go, he went, come with me, just leave your bag. When George gets here, we wind him up. Like, he's got me sitting in a tractor. Do you know what I mean? I'm sitting in a tractor. I was like taking selfies and sending it to people. Look at this crazy fuck. He's made me sit waiting in the tractor.
Wow.
But good times down at there. So if you got a chance, go down there. I'm sure they'll have a great time down there. But like going forward past this fight, past the Kareem fight, you want to still fight, I'm assuming.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. Again, listen, like I said to you, man, I'm going to be listening to my body and seeing how that goes, But like again, my main goal now is obviously focusing on my son, focusing on the fighters that are already going to be. Going to be bringing up, Team Shumba is the name, and man. Again, I've got the projects that I've got going on in Zimbabwe. I've got a boxing gym out there called Shumba Boxing Academy. I also do my own boxing events out there called.
And who's this for? Sorry to cut you off. Who's the Shumba Boxing Academy for? Is it just local kids?
It's for local kids out there. Do you know what I mean? I've got like a team of trainers out there. I've got my business partner out there, so we both kind of share.
So it's a big deal. It's like it's going places.
So we've had like a few national champions as well.
Right. Okay. So it's a proper thing.
Yeah. We've sent a few fighters to like the world championships as well.
Nice.
So like
so it's all going on. Do you go out there much yourself?
Not as much as I would want to, but like obviously WhatsApp and
very connected.
The internet is a very, very amazing thing because I can set up like a Zoom meeting with all of them every week and just have a little catch up with them. What's going on? What you've been up to?
Cool. And sorry, I cut you off. You said you also have fight nights out there. And
stuff. So I also do like my own boxing events out there called Ultimate Knockout, where we basically try and look for like the best fighters in all the gyms around the region, and then we do like a tournament building up to. Obviously, the winner at the end of the tournament.
Nice, man.
So I've done like 2 so far, and I'm again looking to expand and do more of those.
And what is that? Amateur, is it? Amateur
cards? Amateur, yeah.
That's
amateur
cool,
boxing,
man. Do you know what I like that because when you see you've got a son who's 12 now. I like to almost when you see the journey of like 12's a kid, right? 20's a man. That sort of transition between which he's in is a fun spot, isn't it?
And it's hard, man, because especially in this day and age as well, you know, I think for us it was a little bit easier because we didn't have the likes of the internet. We didn't have phones like that. We didn't really have like social media like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's very hard to try and keep these kids like focused on this one thing that's also very like that declares a lot of time and a lot of effort from you. Do you know what I mean? We're sitting at home and you could just be scrolling, playing Fortnite and all that. Do you know what I mean? Where even for me, it's easier for a parent. I'm like, mate, go and shut up. Go just do your thing for there.
Yeah, leave me alone for half hour.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Take the fucking
Where
phone.
really and truly, it's like, no, I can sit down with
but
my
I think
son.
it's the way to, I don't have kids, right? But from the outside, like I've got friends who've got kids I'm close to, etc. Like it seems like giving them a time limit is the way to go with it, right?
Yeah.
Because if you take it completely, aside from, you know, they're, again, like we said earlier, fuck you, dad mentality.
I think also like using it as a reward system.
Right, there you go.
Listen, we're going to go out and we're going to do the gym session and we're going to smash it and we're going to have a fucking good time. But when we come back, listen, bro, you can chill, you can have your half an hour.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then from that bed, boom, boom, like whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, it's about just having what you're saying about time limit and then having like boundaries with it as well, like not letting them go too far with it.
Right.
Or again, you don't want your kids to be missing out on certain things because
you don't want to be the weird kid because all their mates have got it, right?
Mate, yeah, that's when they grow up to be that 25-year-old or that 30-year-old man that's still in the club trying to prowl on.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, we've all seen him.
Oh yeah, or that brother that's like in his 35, bros, because he missed out on his childhood. He's trying to look cool on Instagram and trying to pick up. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that you don't want to.
But it's also like all his mates have got it, right? So it's like it's hard, isn't it? You got to get the balance.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to have the balance, man. But also you want to let them know that listen, it's because I love you and I want the most out of you.
But the reward, I think, is good.
Yeah,
like you said, like do this. Now you got time.
There you go.
There's half hour or an hour, whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe in that. I think that's the way to do it because one way or the other is a headache, isn't it?
Oh,
but like,
me.
you've got fighters you train now, like that are adults, right? So like, is it Nathaniel, the guy?
Yes. I've got
I was going to call him the egg guy. I don't mean the egg guy. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Nathaniel Ujax. Like he had I think it was only a split decision, right? It was a close fight.
Yeah, it was very split. So we had two split decisions on the night, and then one loss.
Who was your other fighter that night?
Shakur, who fought Marino.
Marino, okay. Shout out Marino, no Marino.
And then we had Sarush, who fought Julio.
Okay.
And that was the first fight.
That was the first fight, because I got there not late, but I believe I got there just before Pro Boxer and Nathaniel was about to fight. Okay. No, sorry, that's wrong. I'm getting my timeline mixed up. I think the first one that I saw was Rion versus, you help me out here.
Tommy
Hench, there you go. How'd I forget his name?
Yeah.
Tommy Hench. So that was the first fight I saw. Yeah, I came in and I saw that, and then from then on was when I watched.
Big shout out to Rion as well, man.
Big shout out to Rion. He was on, I'm very grateful to Rion. He was on about 5 days before his fight. So like he came on and sat down. But like that was literally, I think, I'm saying that 5 days, I think it was actually the Friday before the Friday of the fight. So close, right? He's on like a timeline. So grateful to him for sitting down with me, great fella. And we'll probably get a part 2 at some point. But like, how's your Nathaniel after that? Because obviously they had needle going up. It seems like it's all squashed. It seems like it's all cool.
Do you know what? Like again, listen, the influencer boxing thing, they know how to sell a fight. They know. Do you know what I mean? So again, you know, he was very disappointed in his performance, and I said to him, listen, there's a few things we need to go back to the drawing board on, because he should have won that fight. He was the bigger man, he was a stronger man, he was the longer man, and mate, I had never seen this kid train the way he did for this fight. And then obviously they'd put 10 grand up as well. So I'm like, mate, listen, I know your situation. You need that money for your daughter. So it was just a shame that he didn't, you know, go ahead and do what he was supposed to do.
But listen, I mean, he tried, didn't he? It wasn't like a lack of... To me, he just looked from someone on the outside. Obviously, you know him way better than I do. I've met him at the press conference. I saw him fight night. But he's just raw, right? He's just early stage. How many fights has he had?
He's had 7 fights.
7 fights, you know what I'm saying? So he's getting in there and he just looked like raw, right?
Yeah.
He just needs to tighten up on things and he'll be fine.
Do you know what? And this is, you see him in camp, you see him working and sparring, you're like, mate. But when you then see him in the fight, sometimes he's got this ability to kind of let his emotions take over. So once you say that's the game, but like again, it comes with experience.
Of course it does. Listen, all you had to add into it, and I know it's easy to say because you could say, well, if Pro Boxer did this, then it goes away. But listen, all you had to do was start sticking a jab out firm. If he threw an extra 10 jabs around stiff down the middle, the whole fight's different.
Mate, if you go back on that fight, you hear what I'm shouting in the corner. Missing. Double up on a jab because Pro Boxer...
You shouting, windmills!
Yeah.
Windmills!
Hit him in the dick! Punch him in the
Twist
dick!
his dick! I know what you're talking about. I kept looking at him going, what's this coach
what's this? Like, I wasn't even watching the fight, mate. I was on my phone texting my
brother. Coach, nah.
Oh, shit, is he still fighting? Is it?
Who's Nathaniel?
Who is he? I was still in the changing rooms, mate. Like,
but like, it's simple things to fix. Like where he's going, he tried hard and he did his thing. So I don't. To me, like after 7 bouts, what's he got to be disappointed about? Do you know what I mean?
He showed a lot of heart. Again, being on on a stage like that, sometimes that could be very, you know, the occasion can take.
Of course it can. And do you know what? I was talking to Armstrong after, Armstrong Nation, I forget his actual surname, doesn't matter. But Armstrong, great guy. I don't know if you know him. Are you aware of these guys?
Yeah, very good friends,
Yeah, cool. So he's a cool guy. Again, I met him all this week, so it's not like I'm their best pal or anything, but like, you know him, he's coming on a podcast, shout out Armstrong.
Oh, nice,
But after he won his fight, clearly, right? He knocked his guy out, I believe, was it second round, third round, somewhere?
Third round.
Or fourth, whatever, doesn't matter. He got a stoppage. Yeah, he got a stoppage, right? So he got out, and I tell you, I think that was his 8th bout, and what was quite impressive, like we sat standing there chatting to him, he come over after, and he was almost like a bit downbeat. And he was like, what do you think? First round, I was waiting too long.
Oh, yeah, he said that to me as well.
And he was asking, like, basically asking advice of what he thinks he could have done here and what he could have done there. And I was like, mate, to be honest, it's a good attitude to have, isn't it? Because, like, in that situation, he could have just gone like, I got to stop. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. And he's not, which to me goes, well, you're going to keep improving, right? Because you're fucking...
You have to,
He's going to keep improving because he's got that mindset, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not up himself and going, well, I won all my fights, no one can tell me. So, like, it's encouraging to see, isn't it?
You want to be as self-critical as criticizing as possible, do you know what I'm saying? And, like, analyze what you've done. Because sometimes, you know what I mean, I think maybe not asking everyone how well did I do, just coming back to your coach and let them.
But also, listen, he didn't. The only thing I said, which was what he knew anyway, which if he was asking my advice, would be, listen, you waited a bit long in the first round. Outside of that, I don't really see what else you're going to pick out of that. You waited a bit long, but at the same time, you can't rush in either. So it's like, you know, maybe through a jab out more, which is, I'm saying this, I said this to him, so it's not like I'm trying to be like wise old Al telling like the story, but it's like, I thought he was fine. Do you know what I mean? But the point I make is like touching on what we said earlier. Some of them think they're the best thing since sliced bread, and they can't fight to save their life. He's the opposite. He knows where he is, and he's trying to improve. And he's also, he seems like he's got absolutely no ego. And again, going to the press conference. He's a very good guy. I don't know him well, but from what I do, I like him a lot. And he, like the press conference, his opponent. Again, I'm not giving him stick. He's lost, and that's that. But at the press conference, he was giving it a big and money. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And Armstrong, a little bit like George Hilliard, was kind of just like. Okay. See you Friday.
Cool, right.
It was a bit like that, wasn't it? You know. And I believe in that. You don't need all this shouting, screaming.
Do you know what? I think boxing nowadays is kind of like become some sort of like circus. You know what I mean?
I've got no problem if you can fight.
But do you know what it is though? Like it's also the pushing and the slapping.
Not needed.
I don't like all that.
I don't like it.
Because mate, if you do that to me during the, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I don't like any of that stuff.
And it should be a gentleman's thing, agreement.
I believe
do you know what I'm saying? Let's shake hands. Let's be. Do you know what I mean? Move forward.
Noble art, all right? It's the noble art.
Exactly,
we
man.
do this. I believe in that. The fight for honour.
Same.
I don't know. You get the risk of sounding a bit of a dinosaur, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, I believe in that. I'm with you there. I believe in that. And how old's Armstrong?
I would say probably late 20s, early 30s.
Careful now, don't age him. 52, 53. But he's like, he seemed a bit more mature in himself than his opponent, is what I'm trying to say, right? So at the press conference, when his opponent's giving him some stick, he's kind of like, all right, mate, see you Friday. It was a bit like that, wasn't it?
And then look what he did on Friday.
He did, exactly. So your other guy's name, sorry, you fought Marino. Shakur, did you say?
Shakur. Jordan Shakur.
Right, and what's his background? How many fights has he had?
He had 4 fights, but like again, like
so it's early stages, right?
Yeah,
because Marino's very experienced.
Marino's very experienced, man. But like again, he wanted to test, and I showed these guys that listen, if you need fighters that are going to turn up on a day and not back out, if you need fighters that are going to be on weight, fighters that are going to give you 100% fights, do you know what I mean? And fighters that you can rely on. I'm the guy.
But again, like stepping back to what we said about fighting for honour and stuff like that, to me, to turn up and try and win and lose, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And also, again, you know, if you're fighting against, let's say, even for my guy, I was telling him, like, listen, you're fighting a guy like Mourinho. You know, he's a very experienced fighter, and like, to have that on your notch and say, yeah, listen, I've lost to him, but like, he's an experienced fighter.
And how did the fight go? Was it points?
It was a split decision.
There you go.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? To go the distance with a man with that experience is like, hey, you got 4 bouts. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then again, so for these guys, we're just looking on to go bigger.
But that's where it should be. Like I didn't see that fight, but I spoke to Marino after I had you get on, you know, blah blah, just chit chat, right? And like, but they seem very respectful too, which to me, I know we're at the risk of sounding like 2 old men here, aren't we? 2 old farts, but like, I believe in that. There's no need. There's no need for nothing else.
Man, facts. There's no. Do you know, it depends again on the situation and the occasion. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, it's like like for instance, pro boxer and Nathaniel, the way they were. Do you know what I mean? Again, I think they brought a lot more eyes to that.
But after they're cool.
Yeah, and then you shake hands and you move along.
And my point really is, listen, needle happens in the build-up. That's kind of it is what it is, right?
Yeah. But like it's
again,
after.
After. That's what I'm saying.
Shake hands and move along.
I'm assuming you and Kareem after.
Oh, 100%, mate. Like,
that's what I'm getting at.
Even like, you know, to the point, like, because I had my son with me on the fight night. And it's again, that whole thing is like, if I was to see him and he'd be like, yeah, fuck off, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But like, if I'm walking around with my son, also have that respect of like, mate, that's not don't be trying to be like.
I think it works both ways.
Then,
if you saw him with, I don't know if he's got kids, right? But if you saw him with his family, I would expect you, right? Because if you didn't, like that to me, not that I know you that well, but that changed the dynamic of me and you.
For sure.
I'd look at you and go, he's a bit of a dick.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
He's with his son. Shut up.
Yeah,
that's it.
And what would you expect him to do? Do you know what I mean? So like again, I respect him for doing things like that as well. You know, he saw me with my son, and then he didn't think to then take that to the next level, or it was just like, listen, he even shook my son's hand and then kind of keep it pushing.
That's good, isn't it? I like
so we're not a time and a place to kind of.
But that to me, that's being a man, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
How we should
if he kicks off in that point.
Do you know what I mean? And obviously for me as well, mate, I'm not going to then hold back because you're trying to do something in front of my son.
You can't have that.
And then again, that's me showing my son something else that, you know, dad can't really control his tempo. Or he can't, do you know what I mean? So
but it's pros and cons, isn't it?
Pros and cons, exactly.
Because you got to show. You got to show what you got to show.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not going to back down from the situation. But like, at the same time, if I'm telling him to be composed, then, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But all in all, everyone seemed after the bouts, I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything. Shane Mosley's dad was a bit upset at the decision. Did you see that?
I think he was, yeah.
Did you see the mic after in the ring?
Yeah,
Well, they interviewed Shane, they interviewed him, and they gave the mic to him. He was like, "My boy won."
My boy won. I don't know what you
weren't letting it go. Yeah, he weren't letting it go. It was like,
go on. He was fuming, man.
Yeah, but I found myself actually with Armstrong. I was in the change room with Shane Mosley after the fight. So that was like a surreal experience.
Exactly.
You know, when you're there and you're going like,
if you just been in the ring, I swear. Yeah, one time I think I was I standing next to you when the Radio Raheem done the.
He was, yeah.
And then also. What's his name? Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones.
You was right next to me as well when he done the squeeze boom thing.
Yeah, Roy Jones.
I thought that was pretty cool as well, man.
One of my boxing idols, Roy Jones, as well.
Bro,
right.
Come on.
To me, pound for pound, the GOAT.
Come on. You're rubbing shoulders with him right there.
Yeah.
Amazing, bro.
Like, I tell you, it was magic that night. I don't know if I've said this on here before, but I told someone else I was made up. He was sat sort of over there, like where that seat is, and we just, you know, when someone locks eyes, and like in my mind, I'm going, "That's Roy Jones looking at me."
Looking at me.
Before I did anything, I swear to God, he went. Yeah, and you're just like, yo, me. Yes. I was like, yes, Roy.
That's my boy. That's like, you're like on the phone, like, hold on, Roy.
I've known him for years. Grew up together. Yeah,
Roy?
Big Roy. Grew up together. Don't worry about that. We're in school together. Like great guy, great human being. You know, it's like one of them. They say, don't meet your idols, isn't they?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I went over and spoke to him. And like, you forget sometimes. I think when you see someone who I've known literally since I was a little boy watching, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You forget he's just seeing another grown man, isn't he?
For sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, he was cool, man.
And also just being how humble he is as well,
great,
because a lot of boxers are tossers.
They are, yeah. He's got no ego. I mean, listen, when we spoke, I've spoke to him for I've spoke to him 2 different times that night for a collective of maybe 3 minutes, right? Yeah. But in that time, he was just a great guy. Couldn't have been more humble. And I tell you why it's more, because you know what it's like that night. There's a few people going around and go, Roy, can I get a picture? Roy, can I get a picture?
He's probably like,
and he gets that every day his whole life, right? Still doesn't seem to phase him. Like, great guy. Great guy. And he even did, like you said, the squeeze the neck boom. So I can't knock that can out.
You can't, man.
Exactly. So with your fight coming up, mate, obviously this will come out right before the fight. Okay. But like, how long before a fight do you sort of click into camp mode?
So I've started camp 2 weeks ago.
Okay. But like, which is how long before the fight?
So this is 8 weeks before the fight.
Okay. So fairly good time.
I've given myself a good chance. Right. You know what I mean? A good time to.
But do you train year round?
Yeah, I'm always
training,
training, man. Like, even if I'm not in camp, at least I'm getting 1 session in a day.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And just kind of
you have to, right? You kind of have to.
Yeah, I feel horrible if I don't. Do you know what I mean? So I'm constantly ticking over. If I'm then not doing that, at least I'm like coaching someone. So that comes then with holding pads and you're moving.
Still
so I'm always around it. Do you know what I mean? Somewhere, somehow. And if not, then I'm training my son. So I'm always kind of involved in boxing in where somehow. But like, yeah, man, like I think this is probably going to be the best Mac Shumba premiere that everyone's going to see on the 13th of September. You know, I'm leaving no stones left unturned. I am training my ass off, do you know what I mean? And I feel great. I'm in great shape. I'm in a great mindset. And again, my opponent, you know, I know he's going to be bringing his A game, and that's going to bring my A game, mate.
Yep.
And that's what I want. I want a fighter that's going to bring the best out of me, and then I do the same for him, and we can both put on a great show. You know what I mean? So.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Well, mate, thank you very much for doing this. This has been good.
Man. Thank you very much.
One more time, shout out where your fight is.
Listen, my fight is going to be Epsom Racecourse, Surrey, on the 13th of September. Boxing at, Quest Boxing League.
Quest Boxing League, European title fight, is it? Or is it, no, it's a new division. Is it the cruiserweight or he's coming to you?
No, so he's coming to me.
Coming to you.
Yeah, European light heavyweight title.
Boom.
He's also putting up his British title.
All right,
so,
cool.
Man,
So it's all kicking off that night.
Yeah, everything's
Tickets still available?
Tickets are going to be available, guys. Hit me up.
I'll hit you up. Don't worry about that. I'll get myself there for sure. But
guys, listen, you've got all the backstage access, man. So like, come through. You're with me, man.
I like it very much.
100%.
Before we finish, mate, most important question of the day. This decides whether I'm coming to the fight or not. Which football team you support?
Mate, Man United.
No, wrong answer, bro. Fuck's sake. Forget it. I'm getting Chelsea's the correct answer. I appreciate your time, mate.
Cheers, my bro.
I always finish with the fists up like this. Squeeze the neck. Boom, boom.